daily speed chop, 55 Chevy Nomad. So, dropping stuff. Where are we at? We're getting this thing ready to go. It's like days away now before we go, so I think it's probably going to be the last video before we're going, unless things go completely sideways. But anyway, the car's running pretty good. We got 500 miles on it. It's time to change all the fluids. So I'm going to pull it. I'm actually going to take it to work tomorrow, I think, and do all the fluids on it and give it a once over. And I mean, at this point, how many more miles are we going to put on here before you're confident with it? I've worked out all the big major kinks for what I think, and we just got to start driving it. So I'm going to drive the next few days, obviously, before we go. Anything we're going to do is going to be in this car, and along the way, we're going to try and add creature comforts, as many as we can. So step one is actually not a creature comfort, but this fancy-dancy Delta fan. It has this controller, which is waterproof, heat-proof, all these things, and can be under the hood. But you know what? I want it in the car with me so I can see exactly what it's doing. Just look at this thing. It's fancy. So I have to extend 4 or 5 wires. We're going to leave the power and all that hooked up. I have a direct power to the battery, and all that is there, the relay and all that. So that's staying right up front. It's all fused direct to the battery. All we're essentially doing is, I think these are just the control wires. So that will be lengthened and go through the firewall. I got a new master cylinder because this one seems to be leaking. We'll get that changed out. I have a bunch of stuff I want to do. USB hookups, little chargers. I gotta make some cup holders. You know, all those kind of nice things. Last night I changed the exhaust manifold gasket and I cut the header in 3 pieces. So between the pipes has been diced and it kind of spread out, did its thing. So that's pretty good. We have a gasket in there, but I did on the other side, worked really well. I picked some up way home from work. Is I'm going to stick some factory, some of these in there as well. So we'll double them up, a little high temp silicone, and see what happens there. Otherwise, you know, that's kind of it. We got zip ties and all. Oh, I got to wire up the trailer wiring. I think I bought a car. Well, I did. I did buy a vehicle in the USA, which is going to be a relay to get it home. But we're already going to be down in the area. You know, I can't go wrong. Got it for a great deal. Hopefully all goes well on the way there. Throw a power tour, and then we'll tow it back with this, which I think is going to be friggin' hilarious. I don't know if we'll make it all the way home. There's a bunch of stuff to go through, bringing a car from the US to Canada, which I've never done before. But I've also found a spot or two I could always leave this thing in the US of A, and I can deal with it at any point. Because we're right on the border. We're an hour away from the border. I found a place that's about an hour away from the border south. So it'd be like a 2-3 hour drive to go get it, pick it up, bring it home. It'd be like a day, which isn't the end of the world. Once we get all the paperwork dialed together, pay all the taxes and the treaties and the fees and the whatever else there may be. The car will cost double by the time I get it. So I'm going to go ahead and just lengthen these wires, drill a couple holes in the firewall, you know, make sure it's all nice, and just kind of start working away. So it'll be a lot of that, followed by some driving, and hopefully, sayonara, we'll be in the States and there'll be no issues. I hope. This is the gasket that keeps blowing out. Does the same thing, the middle pipe. So I cut here. I'm going to double these up. I think we'll be fine. So we're under hood. These 2 wires here, that's the fan controller, so it all runs back away from the exhaust. Should be good there. Temp sensor. I plugged one in the intake manifold, whether I end up using that one or the radiator, it doesn't really matter. This one's just closer. I have lots of lines, so I can loop it and do whatever. Controller's inside. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to change this master cylinder. I gotta say I'm a little upset about this. So this was a brand new power brake kit I bought. I don't know where, it might be eBay. Steel bay, whatever you want to call it, and it leaks, and it leaks from between the master and the booster, so the back, whatever, slide and all that is all junk. So I didn't really notice it. There was some wetness here and there, but when I put this shield on, it's collecting it, and then it thups and burns off, which isn't really that great. So I'm going to change that real quick, and then I have to actually make a new line here because I accidentally gave it a quick cut. Well, I think I just nicked it. I think I did with the grinder. Oh yeah, there it is. Which, you know, I wouldn't really care if it was just around home. You're not going to lose all the brakes, obviously. So don't really shut those doors. you just lose front brakes. You can at home, you can nurse at home and all that, but I don't want to be dealing with this on the highway. I'm not bringing brake line and all that. So we'll run a new line. Well, new day. Back at it, I picked up some exhaust pipe. I want to change my system here. At the front, I have this glass pack muffler, which is fine, but it rattles to keep the exhaust up high. It's bigger. It's like, probably 4 or 5 inches round. So if I can eliminate that with just a straight shot, 3-inch, I like the mufflers that are on it. Hopefully it'll avoid the rattling. I think it's hitting the floors, so I don't want that. I got my little spacer or bump stops. I heard some of these, they're for like motorcycles and cars and stuff. They're simply like you plug it in, it has like a USB charger deal. So I'll wire a couple of those up. And then I'm putting some miles on, it's been going good. I ordered a cheap Scamazon light bar. I like to mount somewhere, I don't quite know where, maybe underneath. I'll have to figure something out. I'll probably do. Because I'd like to have just a little bit more light. These ones are mediocre. I don't plan on driving a whole bunch at night, but you just never know. And I hate old cars with crappy old lights. Or maybe it's my old eyeballs. But anyways, I'm getting tired of it. So I came with those. Wiring harness should be pretty simple. I'm going to get another fuse block. So I have that one right there. That's all kind of under hood, fans, whatever I need. I'll put one right below, which may be just this gear or the charging stuff, because I got 2 chargers. We're gonna hook that up. We gotta hook those cool shirts up. Just a few things like that. So it's just completely separate and easy to kind of track and maintain and go from there. So I think I'm gonna get under this thing. We'll do the exhaust on the ground if I have to lift it up or not. Take it off. We'll just kind of redo it real quick. Put it back together. I'll probably just pull it off and I'll show you what it is. It's super simple, and go from there. So we got the exhaust off, separated in 2 pieces. I think I'm gonna make it just 1 piece going forward. But so that's our muffler, one little hanger, and just the exit, very simple. I have it sleeved there, so we'll just kind of carry on. Now, this is what I'm talking about. So we came off the header into these mufflers. I do like the way these sound, not gonna lie, but it's a little too loud, so we have to run those. Now, you can see here, there, and there, where the muffler is kind of big, it's rubbing. Right as we go across here, there's actually a floor brace, and then back here was running the inner rocker. So in theory, if I just cut a piece of pipe this long and weld on a collector, I might have to cut that one off, it should go back together, be 1 piece, and be the exact same thing, but just slightly narrower. So you can see, got a bit of height to it. So if I do that, then this just shouldn't vibrate. We'll lose another inch, we'll be fine. And up here I might put just tag a piece of metal on and go to a floor brace, just so it has a little bit more strength to kind of hold it, because it does bounce around. So I'm gonna cut a piece real quick, tack it all together, put it back in the car. If it works, I'll take it out and seam weld it. Well, giving her. I haven't been filming a whole lot, just doing kind of tedious little things. There's a gross little sweat ring there. It is friggin' hot. It finally started raining, which is nice. So I've been inside the car. You can tell because it's a disaster. We got a couple of these little things wired up. These are USB chargers. They're 3-amp jobs. So that's working pretty good. Charging. So I can't complain about that. We've got the cool shirts dialed together. So I wired those in with a trailer plug. Now, a lot of people have asked about these things and how they work. And it's very simple. I think I did earlier in the video, but it's just a sump pump. I use 2, you probably get away with 1, but each seat has its own deal. Now, originally I had it, so it was a t-shirt, a tight-fitting t-shirt that had coils running up the front and the back. We were gonna wear them. And what we did last year was we just put them over the seat, like a seat cover. Oh, we also had some beads. Apparently these are supposed to help with being cool as well. Oh man, it's raining out there. Let's just go stand out there. Anyway, so we did that. Now it would cool the front and the back. So I was talking to Murr, and he's like, well, eliminate the back. Because obviously we're just using the back of the seat, but the back of the shirt is what I'm talking about. So just the front of the shirt. So it keeps, the water is going to be out and then back in as soon as possible. I also, the lines that go into it, these are hard water lines, the 1/4-inch stuff. I shortened a bunch out of there, so you can see on the ground, I took a bunch out. So I took probably 6-7 feet where the line away. So that's less time it's outside in the heat. It's on us, it's back in the cooler, and we're golden. I also hooked up that light bar. Oh, I took the fuse out of it. I hooked that up. The light bar is going to be who knows what, because I don't know what the legalities are. I know I've never really had a light bar. Whoa, look at this. Holy moly. Oof. Just wash a little bit. Anyway, we got the light bar on. It may not be, again, like I said, 100% legal, but as far as I'm concerned, I'll use it sparingly, and if I need to see, I need to see. So it's on there. It can always be turned off or covered any reason. The exhaust is on. This one I gotta cut just the slash cut. Sticks out just a little bit too much, but it sounds good. Come on, girl. And there's much less rattles. Again, as you can see now, I can put my hand between everything around here. I got these fancy pants Holly sent to me, collector gaskets, and they're aluminum. But anyways, I put my hand the whole way around everything, which is great. The muffler's in the same spot. There's lots of room around it. So everything is just working out okay. Oh, I also, I'll show it there. Probably dark. Right here I added another brace. So it's nut and bolt there, and hanging off the header. So that should be pretty good. Unfortunately now, if you want to take it apart, it's the whole exhaust comes off in one piece versus some, clamps. But in the interest of it's together, it won't roll around as much, everything has been sealed, I'm hoping it'll be better. And it's got a lot more, it's a lot sturdier than it was. So that's that. I'm going to clean up a little bit, clean up the inside of the car, get everything zip tied away, and kind of go from there. I had a whole second fuse block under the hood. I still got everything is just there. Has to be taken care of. But I want to take it for a bit of a ride tonight, because tomorrow we got to move some cars around. My buddy Mike's place. You guessed it, we're taking this thing. I wouldn't mind a little bit of rain to drive in, but that's a little bit much. Test out the wipers. And then, yeah, I don't know what else we got. Bump stops, change the air shock lines. Kind of short list here. Well, I keep saying it. The list is getting shorter, and then it gets longer, and then shorter, but when it gets longer, it's getting less long every time. So we just got, well, it's a new day, just so everyone's clear. We're all over the place here. We just got to my buddy Mike's house because I wanted to move a couple of cars. We dumped them here in the fall and in the snow. So now we got to arrange things a little bit better. We got to be good to our storage guy. And it was a good excuse to put some miles on the old Nomad. So we got the 55 just sitting here in the middle of nowhere. Oh yeah, the Opal. And then these two Camaros, we're gonna try and drag them over if we can. I don't quite remember if what all we got here and what steers and what doesn't. But anyways, put another 65 miles on out here, so it'll be another 65 back. It's gotten hot. It's very hot today, so a good little test. I think that's how we're gonna spend our morning. Maybe get some burgers or something like that on the way home.
I'm not a country person. I do not like this tall grass.
Yeah. So these are rough. So this is a 68, which had someone did a bunch of metal work to it. It's got all new front end stuff, and this is a 67. So I think this is the one I want to build for myself, but it hasn't been touched at all. So it's rusty and rotten, but it looks cool. I like 67s just because of the wing window and the lack of marker lights. So this one looks like it steers. This one looks like it kind of didn't, unless it's in like a little ditch or something like that. So that might be a bit of a challenge. This one may get dragged pretty hard. And the 55 we got to move, but that steers. Unfortunately, I brought it here, it didn't run. The gas leak was ridiculous. I dropped off with a tow truck. I was gonna come over here with the tow truck to do all this, but then someone tried to steal it. There's a lot of Tri-5 Chevys out here. All right, well, we'll get hooked up and see what we can accomplish. See what Mike, where he wants everything put. And we're out of here. You pay for the best, you get the best.
So I think what they're doing, they're gonna hook up the front of the car to the back of the Nomad there, and they're just literally gonna like angle park, because this is what a 55 Nomad was originally intended for, right? Right. That tires, yeah. She'll go. She'll go.
You doing anything or not?
Yeah, it's moving, like it's going. Oh, there you go. I feel like I can hear all of you in the comments just screaming right now.
Not good, or?
Looks good to me.
Oh, that was good, yeah.
I gotta say, that is the most I've seen him smile in 2 weeks.
You want to run the steering wheel on?
I guess I can stay there. Well, you're just gonna pull it.
I'll go real slow. I promise.
Should I sit on the roof and like?
There's a tree there. This is like, I honestly was expecting this to be way more of a gong show.
Stevie's speed shop. Why would it go bad?
Hence why I was expecting it to be way more of a gong
Oh,
show.
these are moving. Now he's got to dump the 55. And that thing does roll for sure, so we're all set. That went way easier than I thought.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice.
You were re-rigging. While this is like this, we should get a thumbnail.
You have to strap the bolts on it.
Yeah. We'll just pull it right now, like, as a joke, and I'll take a photo. We'll cheat it a bit. I'm at 0.6, I got it.
0.7. What? Crank the wheel?
I feel like this was the first time ever everything went easier as we went.
No
extra surprises. No extra surprises. Man, I'm fully shocked at how well that went.
That was pretty good. All right. Well, we got all these guys got back to yard work and you know, property maintenance of vehicles.
Everyone in the comments say thank you, Maggie.
Yeah, thanks, Maggie. Appreciate you, Maggie. And
Mike's pretty good too.
we're headed back home. He didn't really run that lawnmower. Thanks, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Well, we made her back. Hot rod did good. It's hot today. 32 Celsius. I don't know what that is. It's probably mid to high 80s. I don't know. Car did good though. You know, cruising down the highway, 180 degrees. We were, you know, idling and pulling those cars around and everything. Like 185, 190 is sitting there. So I think that's a pass. Towed those cars around pretty good. So again, I bought a car down in the States. The goal is to drive this thing down, do power tour, and then tow dolly a car most of the way back home. I don't know if we'll make it all the way or not, or maybe leave it in the US. Because you gotta do some border stuff. But car's doing good. I think that's where we're gonna leave it. There's still thunder's coming. There's still a few little things I want to get taken care of in this thing. Zip tie some things up, change the air shock lines. I got to put bump stops in it, just stuff like that. We went and bought some more toolboxes. I'm gonna organize my tools. But I think this is gonna be the last video we're gonna do before we head to power tour. Maybe it'll be something else, but odds are we're leaving in like 2 days, and I got to get some videos edited, and the schedule for posting will be erratic the next couple of weeks, but we'll try and bring you guys the best stuff we possibly can. Rolled over 750 miles in this thing, so how many more miles you got to put on? We'll drive it today and tomorrow yet before we go. I think that's kind of it. Oh, one more thing. Danny's giving me the face.
Well, just they're walking too far. They can't hear me. Well, if people want to know where we are on power,
oh yeah,
we're gonna post it to the Facebook.
We'll be on the Facebook, Instagram, and maybe stories and all that on YouTube itself. I think we're gonna be in a couple of vendors' booths maybe, so we'd love to meet all you guys. At the end of the day, you guys are the ones watching these videos, which are essentially paying the fuel on the way down. We're selling a few shirts. If you want to buy a shirt and support the cause, we'd really appreciate that.
One run only.
We made one run power tour shirts. Yeah, so hopefully we can sell a few of those and pay for some gasoline. Also, if you'd like this fine car, subscribe to the channel, and if we get to 150K, we're giving it away by the end of June. If not, we'll just flog it off for... People are emailing me left and right already about, I want to buy it. I get it, but I'd rather give it away to somebody who's, I don't know, wants a car and can't afford it, or get someone into hot rodding. I'd love to give it to a kid or something like that. But that's it for now. Subscribe below, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and we'll see you on the road.